There he is.
What's up, baby?
Well, first of all, you know that I like it when you call me baby. So it's interesting. Is that fair? Second of all, my daughter
Oh
didn't
my God! How you
Hello.
doing, Phoebe? What's
did
up?
did not
Guess
did
what?
not
I was just hold on. I was just talking about daughters for a second because now I have two of my own. When was the? I'm joking. I'm joking. When was being hit?
I hope that's not your opening
When
act.
was the first time that Phoebe accidentally cursed?
6 years old.
What did you
I remember.
say?
I remember. Can I tell you
Do
that?
you?
Say it,
What did
say
you
it.
say?
Phoebe said, "I know what the F word means."
Oh no, Walter, don't have that.
And then we went, and you were like, she was 6. I know what the F word means, and she got all giddy and like foaming.
No, but say that I didn't actually say the F word, because that's
Yeah.
gonna be.
I know how to craft things. So she said, our first fight. Unbelievable. Say how to. If there were music, it would go wah, 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 wah. And then she said, I know what the F word is.
Yeah.
Fire truck.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
No,
fat.
she didn't.
I said fat.
It was
No,
fat.
she
All right.
didn't.
Right.
Beat it.
Cut it.
My man.
Oh my God.
Can you break that up? All right. So we're getting off.
Slide in permission.
So Sandy's Instagram live is
I'm
a
here.
bunch of dogs barking
All right.
in the background.
So
It's
that
so
actually went
good.
as planned.
This is the best viewing I've ever
Listen,
seen.
David, I want to start off by saying that I looked up
Hey,
some.
this is say hi to Lily Allen.
Lily, I want to clear this up for the record, if I may. Miss Lily Allen, who's very pretty. Lily and I are just friends. If I read one more thing, implying, is that fair?
No, it's not fair. It's not wanted. None of it.
Yeah, I need to figure out why I needed to say it, and that's not on you. That's on me. That is nothing to do with you. You were an extra in my soap opera, and I apologize.
An under 5, sir. An under 5.
Now listen,
Have you
I want
ever
to
been
start
in
off.
under 5? Hold on. I'm going to tell a story now. Have you ever been in under 5 in a soap opera?
No.
When I started in As the World Turns, thank you very much.
Let me pick that one up.
Thank you very
Terrific.
much.
Great.
I started out as an under 5. Do you know what an under 5 is?
I do.
An under 5 is an actor who can only say 5 lines and under 5 lines, or otherwise they have to pay them more money. And I forgot what my lines were, but it was something about the ladies in Oakdale being like bad ladies. Because I was a cop.
But you had a part, like, weren't you if not a regular or recurring? Like, I thought you weren't an
Yeah,
under
no,
five.
I started as an under 5, and then I became a day player, and then I was recurring, and then they tried to make me a regular for a minute, and then I did very poorly, and they stopped that.
What does that mean? You did poorly because
I was just not very good. I think I got nervous and I got self-conscious and I just tanked it. They gave me because you start out and you have a last name and then they give you a first name. And when they give you a first name, they start giving you scenes and stuff. And then I had my first name scene and I just blew it. I blew it. They were trying to set me up with this lady and I just blew it. I was just terrible. I was just terrible.
Is As the World Turns still? Is that one of the soaps that no longer?
It's not on it. I don't think any soaps are on anymore. What's on? Guiding Light's still on?
I know General Hospital is, and this is part of the reason I wanted to do this here. Is I might have gotten you a gig on GH, sir. I mean, here is the thing. Stranger Things, we've talked about this, and I hope you don't feel like I do not know that show will take off. Does that make sense? Like, I think I see it having a life, but I don't know. I'm talking second, third season stuff. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. And I don't
No,
think you know.
good. I'm glad you're making
But
these predictions.
I know people on General Hospital, and rumors are saying, would David, and I'm like, would David, could David. Does that make sense? I don't know what it meant.
Dude, I was on As the World Turns with actors who'd been on that show for 40 years.
How do they, and now let's ask the question that every actor hates as if it's the hardest thing, which secretly it is the hardest thing.
How do you
they
memorize all those lines?
Yeah. Yeah. How? Could you memorize 30 pages a night?
No.
Do they do that? All right. I want to read to you, if I could, some quotes that I looked up and just get your thoughts on to see if anything has changed now while
While
you're
we've
in
been
bed.
talking? Oh.
Yeah. It says, David, so I said, David, I'd like to begin by reciting some of your quotes in various interviews.
Oh, Jesus, this is not true. You have not pulled up quotes from mine in interviews, have you? Oh, God.
You'll let me know. You'll let me know
The
when
internet. Jesus. All right, go ahead.
You'll let me know when you're ready.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
David, I love you. Somebody loves you, dude.
I know. I don't think they know me, though.
Okay, this is a quote. Let's face it, I'm a big guy. Not many people can physically intimidate me. I'll never say it to his face out of fear that he would abuse the power he has over me. But deep down, I know that if I were to fight Alexander Chaplin, I know that I would wind up being his little bitch. My question for you is, like, why is that something that you wouldn't say?
God.
No, now this begs another question.
Wow.
On an interview, right? On an interview, how personal, what is the difference between getting personal and just gratuitous, where it's like, where you're making somebody say, oh, he's authentic, he's sharing something that's interesting to watch, or somebody going, whoa, I didn't need, like, what's that balance? Do you find that a difficult balance when you're being interviewed?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Do I find that, you know what? In general, like, I think interviews are so boring because they just want to hear those same answers of, like, I mean, at least for me, it's like literally 5 questions. I sort of wish people would get into weird, gritty, stuff that you'd have to actually think about the answer as opposed to just having your pre-prepared stories, right?
But what, do you think there is about, like, all right, let's go there. We've talked about this where tell me if I'm sort of kidding when I say this, but I don't think I am, that a lot of times I think interviews are violent because it's a mindless pack mentality, the implication that somebody is saying something more important than someone else. And does that I mean, you know what I mean? Like inherently,
You have such self-hatred. It's incredible. It's like so profound.
I will say this. I know someone in therapy. I will admit. I will admit that. I know someone who talks to someone.
I mean, you could say that. Oh my God, is that for real?
What?
Oh my God, can we show you a picture of what restaurants in the future are going to look like? What? Oh, I messed it up. See the plastic on the thing?
That's cool. That looks like a lot of fun.
How are you doing, Miss Lily?
I'm okay.
You're okay.
I'm okay.
You're okay. You look very pretty. Oh no, you're hurting. Did David say something that upset you?
No, it's not me. It's just like global pandemic angst.
Oh, that's right.
I hope not. Is it me?
No, that wasn't you.
I'm feeling a bit angsty today.
Today in particular?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's nothing serious.
It's like whatever. We're all going through the same thing. We were just saying that, like.
I was saying. Sorry, David has a.
She had a really good thing that she was saying, and so I wanted to co-opt it.
Oh, your first fight. Your first fight. Go on.
Taking things that I say and making them his own.
Only
like you're saying he's a psychological cannibal. He eats what you're.
material. Yeah.
I like Sandy Chaplin as family psychotherapist to us.
No, but anyway, I was saying earlier to David that we have a saying, don't we, that when times get tough, as a way of sort of pacifying or making somebody feel better, we say, oh, it doesn't matter, life goes on. But it's sort of not really going on at the moment. So there's no comfort in that, It's like
But
usually this isolation is something self-inflicted that we do when the world becomes too much, but we're all in this, and we're all doing it in a very isolated way, and we don't know when life goes on. So it's a bit
do you
of a
feel
reminder.
optimistic? But do you feel optimistic? Like the whole thing is, there was a time they weren't stepping on the gas when they thought just frankly gay people were dying, and now that it's a word like the over 100 and how many companies now? Are you optimistic that maybe September, October, a vaccine, people are on the case? I mean, in a way companies have never been as incentivized as they are now. Do you feel like, I don't know, how's your optimism?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sort of like, the things that I live for are in this house anyway. My kids, David, and family, and making a home and food and all of those things. So I'm kind of really happy in one way, but then I'm also, I don't know. I guess I'm a little capitalist at heart, and I want to go to Prada.
I was going to say, like, when you said the things that you care most about are with you now in the home, you need to know that didn't hurt me. That apology accepted. I get that was in no way, Lily. You were not attacking.
I didn't want to upset you.
Yeah, and so
Sorry.
as you were saying that, I thought, oh God, is Lily going to feel bad that she said that? And I don't want you to.
Okay, good.
All right.
I feel bad now.
Right. Then my work is done. Okay.
Hold on. I have something I was talking to someone about earlier today, which is that in 1967, there was another influenza virus that killed 1 million people worldwide.
A
million people.
This isn't an influenza virus.
Wait a minute. Did you say 67?
Well, there's a coronavirus?
Mm.
And so how is that, like, distinctly different?
Well, we don't know, really, do we? It just is. It's not the same thing.
All right. There was a virus that killed 1 million people worldwide, and guess what happened the same year? Woodstock.
I don't think I knew about that virus that killed 1 million people in 67.
Yeah, you can look it up on Wikipedia or whatever. Like, look up
Google.
influenza pandemics and just
Google.
look 1967 pandemic. It was like the H2N3 virus or something.
Not H2N1.
No, it wasn't the one that happened in 2009, but it was one of the HN viruses, I think.
H1N1.
And that's the one that happened in 2009, I think. But it was like H3N3 or something. But it happened in 1967, and the same year that Woodstock happened. Now, my friend and my theory about this, like, the world didn't really shut down. And our theory is that because at the same time Vietnam was happening and people were dying and death was on people's minds and people weren't as afraid of death. And so they didn't shut the whole world down. Whereas now I feel like we have a tremendous anxiety, cultural anxiety in the, certainly in the Western world of we're never going to die or whatever.
And how much, and also there wasn't the 25-hour a day, 8-day a week, 366 day a year. You see what I did there. The media, I mean, it's like you're not going to hear good news. Like Daisy and I were talking about it, like something positive, you're just not going to hear about it. You're going to, it's an interesting thing how much fear, more than ever, fear sells. I'm not telling you anything that you didn't know, but it's, a lot of people get paid to talk, don't they? They get paid to say, well, I think what needs that. A lot of pontificating and a lot of speculation and it's amazing. It's just a lot of filler, right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's just. Do I? Now we're talking. What did you say?
I
She
said
said-
and tits.
I'm not hearing. This is what happens when you get older. Dave,
She
can
said,
I?
and tits. You know.
Yeah.
Breast.
I'm. You know. You're making me.
Filler
I'm
and
blushing.
tits.
I'm blushing. David, can I read you another quote?
Bring it.
Can I read you another quote? Some people like to run to the theme from Rocky.
Are you kidding?
As a kid that used to make me very angry. It's almost as if the soundtrack to Karate Kid 2 never existed. Try running the glory of love, then maybe we can talk about Rocky. What did you mean by that? Did you bust out to Peter Cetera when you, do you know the piece, Glory of Love? I am the man who
Never
will fight
said
for
that.
your honor.
No, fake news,
What?
man. Fake news, man.
David,
Fake news. Karate Kid Part 2 is an excellent movie. I mean, it's true that movie is an amazing movie. What is the storyline of Karate Kid Part 2? Karate Kid Part 1, he learns karate. And Karate Kid Part 2, what happens? Like,
that could not have been more dismissive of the piece. Like you were saying, that could not have been more. I know a heart. What? You buried the piece because and it only came from love. Like, all right, yeah, if that's all you got from it, then that's all it was. It was a lot more. But karate was the content, David. But it was more than that. He learned how to be a person.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I hate fighting with you about this. We do this a lot. One other thing. It's another quote. I'd rather not say where I was or what I was doing, but in 1984, I remember I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth when Foreigner's "I Want to Know What Love Is, I Want You to Show Me" was playing. Fine. I was wondering if anybody else said the same things I used to say when I look in the mirror. What do you mean? Did you want to show yourself love? Like, talk to me about what was up.
It's so layered. It's to take me back to that place too. It makes me well up. So I don't know that emotion I can go there right now, but it's in the book. Don't worry.
In the book where I want to know what love is. I want you to show me in the book, and I don't want to give anything away. You talk about you wanting to show you what love was. You didn't at the time. You didn't need that from anybody else.
The only person I need to show, really, at the end of the day.
That's heavy. Are you on your way to sleep, sir?
Yeah, I'm going to bed, dude.
You're going to bed. When am I going to see you again?
It's nice to see you on the gram, man. I don't know when this global pandemic dies down, but I actually have no idea, man. I have no idea. I don't know. That's part of my malaise. I mean, like, when I don't know. I don't know.
Do you? I imagine you miss. There's a lot we didn't get into, which we will. I want to say this, and I don't care who knows it. I have less than a regret on passing on Hopper. You are so good in that show, man. Like you nail that.
I really appreciate. Yeah, no, I appreciate that they finally, you had the week to decide, and then they released it to us to audition, and it was really.
I just remember the Duffer Brothers. Yeah, it was without going into detail, it was a lunch at Benihana, and I just said,
wow,
and I said David Harbour, and one of them said the dude with the under 5 from As the World Turns, and I said yeah, and
I'm so lucky to have you as a friend, man. God, I miss you.
You know
so
what?
Handsome. You're looking good. You're looking trim. You're looking good.
Yeah,
you
do.
I miss you, pal.
I miss you too,
brother. Miss you.
Last time I saw. Oh no, it was the Bellator. I was gonna say last time I saw you, it was the heavyweight upset of the world. when Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua.
Dude, do you want to know who was in the garden that particular night?
Do I already know the answer? Are you an Anthony Joshua fan?
No.
She's a fight fan, though.
You're a boxing fan?
Oh, are you kidding?
To be continued. To be continued. But then we went to Bellator and we saw a much more brutal style of fighting. The UFC, the Bellator. I prefer the boxing to the fists without the. What do you think? The cage. The cage is. It's hard
the
to justify.
octagon, right? The cage. No, Bellator is just like a circular cage, right? Yeah.
It's hard to justify. Did you find it harder to justify being in there than the boxing ring? Like watching guys.
I didn't like when the one woman choked the other woman to death for several seconds, and then.
But you seem to work through. But you seem to work through it. Like you're okay. You're all right with it now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was. But yeah, that was a great night. The night with that was the Joshua Ruiz, man. I said to you, if that fat dude beats that Adonis,
I know the quote.
Believe in everything again.
You nailed it. That is exactly what you just said.
And I did. I believed in everything. But I didn't. What I didn't tell you is the second part of that is that if a global pandemic were to sweep the world the next year, say around February, March, I would stop believing in everything again.
You were the one that told me we were supposed to have dinner before you took off, and I said we're going out. And you said I'm not going anywhere. And I said, what are you talking about? And you said there's a pandemic. We were supposed to go out that night. I thought this was your way of avoiding me. Does that sound? I'm worried that sounded self-involved.
No, buddy, never. Good night. I have to go.
Love for you, Miss Lily. I can't wait to see you. We're gonna go to a boxing match. I imagine you're gonna root for the British person. But I'm gonna root too for Fury. Tyson. You're a Tyson Fury fan?
I am a big Fury fan. Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna beat him again if they fight. We know that. He's got his number. Next time we get into it, I want to talk to you about. I'm thinking of getting into either UFC or boxing. I think it's time to get back into it. You want it? I want the public. David, you and I have a date, right? In a boxing ring. Is that fair? Not a street fight, a boxing match. Don't you want a piece of this?
My God. Good night.